What's up, everybody? Welcome to RBL Weekly. It is week 4 of the 2025 season, presented exclusively by Neft Vodka. I am the commissioner of the Roast Battle League, Pat Barker, joined as always by the host and creator of the Roast Battle, Brian Moses.
Let's get it out the way, Pat. Yeah, I messed up shaving, so I just had to cut the whole thing off. And so this is what it looks like. Yeah, I look like Will Smith in one of those zombie movies, or Denzel Washington, and that's just being graceful. I can only attempt to what the comments are going to say about this. So.
You know, I thought this was going to be an interesting week because we have some controversy to address and everything like that, but now I kind of just want to talk about clean-shaven Brian Moses. I've never seen it before. It's unsettling. It's
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Everybody. This feels very training day. I don't know. It just feels like that to me, and I don't know why. But or just very some kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to get into Planet of the Apes stuff, but it's just
Please don't.
There's a lot going on with my face right now that I love and that I hate. But we will talk about the rules of roast battle.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, let's jump right into it. I don't want to belabor this point. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but there are people who might not have caught it on the Instagram. It was a big thing for about 24 hours. Became too big of a thing to the point where we had to take it down. Yeah. But for the people who didn't see it on the Instagram or don't follow us, because there were points subtracted and rewarded. I have to touch base on what happened here. So last week, as you might have seen, the number 2 battle from New York featured one of the battlers doing jokes that a lot of people recognize in various comment sections as, oh, I think someone did that joke before. And you get a lot of this in roast battle. Parallel thinking is still a thing. It still exists. And there's a lot of, and I always say, like, I don't know how to enforce it. You can't prove that something was stolen. In this case, you could. Because there were multiple jokes taken from the same battler in the same battle. I was sent a video. The side-by-side was very damning. I decided we had to act on it. We subtracted the 6 points from New York. Those points are void. Everybody else moved up a spot. And more on that in a second. But we posted the video, got a lot of traction. A lot of people weighed in. Some people took things too far, as I always forget how many psychos are on the internet.
Yeah, Pat.
Let's take the productive side of this and talk about this. And I hope it serves as a cautionary tale. What happened was the battler in question got jokes from another battler who is unnamed. That's not our decision. It's, sometimes you got to protect your sources, or people don't want to name the person who did the thing or whatever. In either case, I don't know who it was. What I know is she got the jokes from someone else. That someone else stole them from Helen K in London. It was very clear. My entire thing is this can all be avoided by just writing your own material.
Right.
And this was, we've gotten out of the habit of you saying the rules before every show. But when I came around, you started every show by saying there are 3 rules in roast battle, and they are...
The first one is original material only. When we started this thing, it was so long ago, but when we all started, we were kind of at the same level of stand-up. So when you went to an open mic, you didn't want to hear things you've seen on Yo Mama or on the internet. Just like, I don't want to see a math problem I know I can solve on the internet. I want to see better jokes. We all wanted to see better jokes. That's why this was a joke writer showcase, right? Like, we wanted to see how well you could attack that subject. So Rule 1, original material only. Rule 2, no physical contact, because if you fight each other, I'm going to lose this fucking show.
Yes.
Right? And then Rule 3 is, at the end of the battle, you hug each other to dissipate any kind of tension. So it is like a UFC fight or a rap battle in that sense. But this is like the steroid era. It's like this was a PED.
Yeah. And... by the same token, so when we started, it was probably harder to steal jokes because there weren't as many roast jokes.
Correct.
Right? There were the Comedy Central roasts, and then this thing, which was brand new.
Yeah.
So it's like, and if you took a joke, people would probably pick it up because there were so few jokes. And then for a while, I think it became really easy to kind of like lift from this or that. And now it's harder again because everyone's policing it. As I said, in various comment sections, before I even got sent the video, people were kind of calling it out. So I'm not here to beat up on anyone. The points were removed from New York. The person who did this thing has to, deal with whatever natural consequences come as a result of that. A lot of people felt like this person should be suspended or banned or whatever. There's going to be, and it'll all work out. Everything's going to be fine. People make mistakes.
Commission's first scandal.
People own up to mistakes, and I want to say this person did a very good job publicly owning up to the mistakes and everything. If you know who, please don't send them weird messages. And what's done is done.
Leave them alone.
Water under the bridge. Yeah, none of this was supposed to be. It was just supposed to be a teachable moment for everybody, I think, because this is not exclusive to this person. This happens all over the place. There is joke theft. I can't prove it. I like to give the benefit of the doubt in terms of parallel thinking, but there's also a lot of people collaborating together now and working on jokes together.
That part.
The game has changed. Back in my era, you didn't do that, or at least most of the people I knew didn't do that. And
you wrote your own songs. You wrote your own lyrics, right?
Yeah, and there's something, I was just writing for a roast the other day, not a battle, but like something I got hired for, and there's that moment, it's 3:00 in the morning, I've written 80 roast jokes, I'm just like burnt out, I feel like most of them suck, and then you get one where all of a sudden it just pops in and you're like, that's really fresh and new and original and no one's ever done that, and it's like, it's a really rewarding feeling, and to me that was like the whole point of this thing, to like, challenge yourself as a writer. So that's my only takeaway from it. Challenge yourself as a writer, write your own stuff, and then you don't have to worry about any of this.
I mean, there was a scandal like this even, remember season 2 of Roast Battle with Frank Castillo, right? And even season 1 with, not season 1, this was even, you guys don't even know about this, but if you go to the Roast Battle YouTube channel, there's a little podcast called Verbal Violence. And I think we played the very first Roast Masters at Just for Laughs in 2015. And it was Jimmy Carr versus Matt Broussard, and people were ghostwriting, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a difference between plagiarizing and ghostwriting, and I want to make sure people know that. Like, if you're in a community that's like helping you write, because that's what this was about. This is a community project. A lot of people help lift this thing off the ground and shape this thing into what it is. And also, especially when TV came around, you had a lot of factions of guys who were really good at roast writing or joke writing who would get in these camps of these, like, these faces who you saw, roast battling. You saw Tony Hinchcliffe or Mark Norman or Frank Castillo or Jay Light. There were certain guys who didn't, who would stand on their shield, like a Mike Lawrence, who write for themselves. But, the ghost writing and joke writing for yourself has always been kind of the schism in this sport.
And there's never going to be a consensus on it. And look, I've participated, never as the person receiving the jokes. I'm in the Mike Lawrence camp where I'm very much like a purist, maybe to my own detriment sometimes. I write all of my own stuff, but you talk about Frank. Frank's been very open. I was one of his writers for season 2.
Yeah.
He publicly gave us all credit for helping him write, And, that's one of those things where it's like, well, that's not what I would do if I was in his shoes. I probably also wouldn't have won.
Right.
And
you saw what happened, yeah.
Yeah. And at the time, my wife was pregnant with our first kid. It's like, he's going to pay me to write jokes. Like, who am I to say no? So look, I know this goes on. I understand it's part of the game. All I'm saying is, if you are getting your jokes from anywhere else, this is a risk you run. And if you're getting them from someone who has a reputation of, shady behavior, you got to be extra careful about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I equated it to, you see Bring It On?
No, believe it or not.
Okay.
That's the cheerleading movie, right?
Yeah. So there's a scene where, what's her name? Kirsten Dunst's character. She, they can't beat this, this black squad with Dwayne Wade's wife, Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
So then they go out and get this like choreographer, and he's basically just like doing this, like, her boyfriend who's cheating on her, or whatever, says, "Oh, you got to just call this guy. He's got the best dance day, whatever." So anyway, they pay this guy, and then like he's doing, he's choreographing this routine, and then they get to this big cheerleading thing, and then it's like 6 other squads are doing the same dance, and they're just like, what's going on? Just like, oh, you guys all plagiarized, like we got to disqualify you,
Oh, that's so
funny. I'm saying, that's why I was like, this is like jazz hands.
It's also really funny that you chose maybe like the whitest example possible, and I had the Brian Moses thought for once, which is, I told you, it's like, if you're buying your Coke off the streets, it might be laced with fentanyl. Fentanyl, for the sake of the metaphor, is stolen jokes in this case.
These jokes were stepped on.
These
These jokes were absolutely stepped on by a Russian named Helen.
Yeah, you don't know if you're getting that pure white or if you're getting the knockoff Roast Battle London shit. But either way,
Shout out Helen K.
Yeah, what's done is done, and we move on from here. But if you're keeping score at home, New York was docked the 6 points from last week. Everybody else moves up a spot, and I want to take this opportunity to shout out the new number 7 battle from last week, which we're actually going to show right now because these guys they came in 8th last week. As a result of the scandal. They move up to 7th, and they should have been featured on the podcast, and they will. Apologies to these guys also because you may have noticed we're in our 3rd studio in the first 4 weeks. When we go to these big fancy studios, we don't have time to watch all the battles. So we're going to go back to last year's format for this episode. We're going to throw to the first, in this case, 4, and then we're going to watch the last 4 in the studio. But please enjoy what should have been the number 7 battle last week and now is from Atlanta, picking up a point. This is AJ Kagel versus Zack Wright. Here it is.
Battle. All right, AJ Kagel versus Zack Wright. Let's roast.
Oh, 2 years ago, Zack quit smoking cigarettes. He started taking his health seriously. Hey, man, what the fuck did you look like before?
Thank you, my before picture. AJ runs a comedy show at this venue called Slow Pour, which is very appropriate because those are the only 2 words I would use to describe AJ Kagel.
Yeah, I'm a little poor. It's funny coming from you, because you look like the kid that my 50 cents a day goes to feed in Africa. If he caught albino.
Congrats on getting all the way up to 50 cents a day.
Maybe.
No, that's my rebuttal.
Okay.
Because not only is AJ a failed stand-up comedian, he's also a failed business owner. He used to run a CrossFit gym. Real quick, props to you for taking that vow to never step foot in one again after that. He's kind of like if Pinocchio wished to be a real disappointment.
Yeah, I got a couple pounds to lose. But I'd rather have this body than yours, which is that of a sick Jack Russell Terrier. Zack's mom is a drug addict. And I know that because I've seen Zack. You know what's crazy is Zack's mom loves Dauer. She loves him so much she decided to make one of her own.
Thank you, every character from Superbad combined. AJ, it's funny you bring up body types. AJ has a very interesting body type. He has a very bloated body type. He looks like he's been bloating in a river for 3 weeks. You know, some people have a dad bod. He has more of a, guys, bad news, we finally found dad bod.
Zack, you look like the tumor that grew off the Mucinex jar. Zack's favorite sport is soccer. Zack loves soccer very much, but he got into soccer for the wrong reason. He got into it because he thought the chant they were doing was, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay.
Oh, man. Thank you, Larry, the steals your cable guy. AJ actually kind of looks like Casey Affleck if you took away all the talent but gave him more allegations. Conyers by the sea.
All right, last joke.
Oh, a lot of people think that Zack stands for Zachary, but it actually doesn't. His full name is Zachary ass bitch.
fun fact about AJ Kagel. He used to be a handyman for McDonald's. He got into that profession because it reminded him so much of what his mother loved to do. Give handies for chicken nuggets in a McDonald's bathroom.
Yeah, I come from a long line of small business owners.
One more joke. One more. Let's roll.
Yeah, you can tell by looking at Zack that he's never been in a fight in his entire life. Unless, of course, you count fighting the urge to sniff every seat he sees a girl get up at.
Last year, AJ Kagel went on a trip to Europe, and he was he experienced a lot of culture shock. It's very different over there. He was over there, they would refer to him as fat, but in America, they would refer to him as a file.
Give it up for those extra jokes, everybody.
All right, so we're back. Got all the housekeeping out of the way. AJ Kagel, Zack Wright picking up a point for Atlanta. Props to Atlanta. 7 points in the first 3 weeks of the season. I think it took them 30 weeks to hit that mark last year. Major improvement out of Atlanta.
The ATL.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Big run.
Hey, fighting for their lives. We know we have that secondary league.
Yeah.
Hartford and Phoenix and Dallas. They're all fighting for those spots, man. So,
Yeah, I'll be in Hartford April 5th, a day before we do the Village Underground at the Comedy Cellar. Yeah. April 6th.
Right on the heels of this New York scandal, I got to go in. I'm going to get booed out of the building like Goodell on draft day.
Internal investigation.
Hey, sometimes you got to step up and face the music. Yeah, I took your
clean
point.
some
I took your
house.
points away. Buy a ticket to the Village Underground and come boo me if you have to. All right, let's get into this week's battles because we have limited time, and we are going to start, of course, with the number 7 battle. And early in the season, it's so hard for some of these cities. Just get off the schneid. Just get that 1 point. You get that 1 point, you feel a little bit better. It's not much, but it's better than 0. And that is the case for our newest expansion city, Vancouver.
Finally.
Vancouver, which I'm going to be honest, rough first 3 weeks. It's not that they didn't get any points; it's that they weren't close to getting the points. This week they turned in a really good battle that, frankly, I think could have maybe been higher. But it ends up picking up the number 7 spot. They get a point. This is their debut on the podcast. Without further ado, let's get into it. From Vancouver, this is Josh Fleming versus Ernie Hart. Here it is.
1, 2, 3.
Roast! All right. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Josh. Yeah, dude, Josh looks like an overcooked pastry. The only difference between Josh and a shitty croissant is despite looking completely hideous, the croissant will still be in someone's mouth tonight.
Ernie says he gets called an old soul a lot. I think that's so sweet. I love that kids aren't calling each other gay anymore.
Thank you, Pillsbury Doughboy. Josh binge drank for a large portion of his life and then stopped. Hey man, that's great. Now you just gotta stop binge everything else in.
Ernie told me the only book he owns is Spider-Man 3, the novelization. Yeah, his reading level is fucking loser.
Actually, it was a really good movie. Josh is colorblind. Whoa. That means he can't see red flags or green lights, which explains why his life is at a standstill. And we all know how much Josh loves standing still, so...
Ernie looks like he's gonna leave his suicide note in emojis.
It's gonna be 3 monkeys going... and then one going, because I never taught. Okay. Josh looks like Hansel ate Gretel. And then went back for the gingerbread house.
Ernie used to rap.
Still do.
I wouldn't trust Ernie with rapping my Subway sandwich, I looked it up on Spotify and I thought, if I just get through one of these songs, I'll be able to come up with a killer punchline.
Hey man, we all know how particular you are about your Subway sandwiches. Josh told me he did a lot of cocaine last year. Somehow he didn't get skinny.
I hate it.
Oh. Which begs the question, did you stop or did cocaine just give up on you?
That's good. Ernie identifies as zesty straight. I love that term. It's way better than his first option, Cool Ranch.
So the number 7 battle coming to us from Vancouver. Obviously, we did not watch it in the studio, but step in the right direction for the boys up north.
Yeah, very Canadian names too. I say that about every region, but man, Fleming and Hart. Very, I feel like you guys are hockey players.
Yeah, absolutely. Ernie Hart sounds like 3 MVPs under his belt.
Yeah, or he's
sure.
like a firefighter, like in Vancouver. Like you're either one of those things. Can't believe you roast battle. Shout out Ernie Hart.
Yeah, a lot of great jokes in this battle. I wish you could see it. My favorite, because the notes on it, a lot of people on the committee send back notes, and everybody seemed to agree. Great jokes. One person said, "What is this footage? Is this from the '90s? Did somebody throw this in a time capsule and send us a video from 30 years ago?" Yeah. They're working on sort of their their upgrades technologically, and I've been assured their next event will be on point that way.
Yeah.
This is the rare one where the audio is good, but the video, it's like, is this a... You expect to see the tracking lines.
No, it's like an underground wrestling kind of thing. It's just like, is this VHS? It's like, Josh Fleming versus like one of like the Hart brothers, Owen Brett, and then Ernie Hart comes out.
One of those old like backyard wrestling VHS tapes. You would remember people jumping off their roofs and like killing themselves.
Yeah, just breaking spinal cords, being in a wheelchair, and then roast battling.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Greg Roca.
Anyway, congratulations to Vancouver picking up a point. Getting out of that, not out of the basement. Toronto and Cleveland are remaining cities as of this second with no points. Will that change?
Two of the hardest working cities, by the way, in the Roast Battle League, but just don't get points.
I know. Well, Tom Goss battled in Cleveland last night.
Okay.
And Keith Carey judged, and they said it was a great show. I'm hoping that that picks up some points.
Outsourcing points just really carrying the league.
Desperate
Good job,
times.
Tom Goss. Good job.
Desperate times, desperate measures, my friend. You get points however you can get them. No shame in anyone's game.
Yeah.
Bring the champ over and get those points. Now let's move on to the number 6 battle. This is one you were in the room for, so I'm excited to discuss. This was the most polarizing battle. This was number 1 on certain ballots. It was unranked on multiple ballots. At the end of the day, it comes in 6th. It's from Los Angeles. It is Ducharme versus Tyler Wolf. Here it is.
I'll go ahead. I'll be the adult in the room.
Tyler Ducharme, let's roast!
It's going to be great. Tense start, huh? Give it up for this Somalian butt pirate. They say black doesn't crack, and Herm is aging like fine wine. If that wine was brewed in a prison toilet.
That was pretty bad. That was bad, for real.
That was bad.
Nigga, you look like you Airbnb caves. Nigga, get your stupid ass up, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Tyler Wolf. They call this man Wolf because he's always in a pack of hot dogs. So fat ass out of here, nigga. So dirty ass out of here. Look, they pulled you out of the swamp, nigga. Get your stupid ass out of here, nigga.
That's cute. That's cute.
Got your barbecue stains on my book, nigga.
That's cute. No, keep it going for the hermit crab, all right? No, the Herm is really homeless. He really is. And he really hates Jewish people. He says they run Hollywood and they keep giving his house parking tickets.
That was very, very light. First off, Tyler Wolf. Why they call you Tyler Wolf? Because John Deere was already taken? Get your stupid ass out of here, nigga. Yeah, Tyler Wolf. Yeah. They call you Tyler Wolf. They call him Tyler Wolf because he's always howling at the moon pies. Get your fat ass out of here, nigga. Get your fat, woo!
Get your ugly ass out of here.
Get your
ugly ass out of here. Get your crusty ass out of here. Hey, don't take it out of the plastic, all right? Get your ashy ass out of here, all right?
Mad I'm eating, you ain't.
Yeah. Ladies, you might recognize Ducharme from asking where his hug at. Ducharme brags that he likes to fuck m***s. He's a weird sex pervert. It's convenient that a guy who lives in his car has a fetish for pocket pussies.
Very, very light. Very light, but you're not light. You big as hell, nigga. Get your stupid ass out of here,
Big
nigga.
as hell. You ugly as hell. Crusty as hell.
I'm not
As
done.
hell.
I didn't even start yet. Get your pussy ass up. So check this out. Tyler Wolf came down here to L.A. to become a fat, hairy gay man. So he went to Build-A-Bear. No. Check this out. It makes more sense because he's a wolf that he's a gay wolf because he huffs and puffs and blows men. Nah, I take that back. Let's go back to the bear. The bear makes more sense because in the gay community, a bear is a fat, hairy gay man. And that makes a lot of sense to me, though, because that's exactly how you spell beard. It's a bear with a D in the end.
You took all that time for that shitty
Hell
punchline?
yeah, nigga. Hell yeah, you gay as hell, nigga. You gay lumberjack. Yeah, you gay, nigga. You lumberjack off men. Get your gay ass off.
There's no way a man who curls his
Gay.
mustache with cum is gonna call me gay.
Yeah, yo, look at your beard. Your beard look like Section 8 housing for birds, nigga. Dirty beard ass nigga, stinking ass nigga.
We'll start a GoFundMe
You look like
and
you
fix
from
that
Swamp
stutter
in
for you.
California.
There are no swamps in California.
Swamped in California, not Compton.
I know you
like
wrote a
swamp.
book, but you can't
Your
read any
ugly
books.
ass
I know
up,
that.
nigga. Now, matter of fact, I got a book. You wrote a book too. It's about your court case. It's called The Boy That Cried Tyler Wolf. Yeah. Once Upon a Minor. That's what it is, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Get your book out of here, nigga. Hold on, this is him at court, nigga. Get your stupid ugly ass out of here. Look at your book. The Boy That Cried Tyler Wolf. You a pedophile, you ugly as hell, you stink, nigga. You look like a caveman that invented the good wheel. Nigga, get your stupid ass out of here, nigga. The good wheel. Get your fat ass. Yeah, nigga. You dirty caveman.
Imagine just going to the library to check out a book and you see a homeless schizophrenic printing this shit out. What a sight to see at the fucking library, all right?
This is your only
on a
comedy
Tuesday
crib.
afternoon. You're
Yeah,
trying to
nigga.
read Hemingway,
Order
and
out.
this fucking guy comes in. Hey, shut the fuck up, you ugly as hell, bitch. All right. All right, shut up, Arthur Ashy Elbows.
That's bad.
That's bad, he says. Hey, no, Ducharme hates white people. He's made that very clear. But he likes doing white people shit. He likes sleeping in tents, starting campfires, and complaining about all the black people that are doing better than him.
Oh. That wasn't good at all. It got some groans,
They
though.
disagree.
No laughs, but some groans, though. That's something, right?
Okay, yeah.
Is that your sweat? Oh, that's the moon pie. Get your fat ass
That's the
up,
moon pie,
nigga.
yeah. You used your last dollar on that moon pie.
You look like, he look like a genie that comes out when you rub a Duck Dynasty bobblehead. And it grants you 3 N-words. That is all. Stupid ass up, nigga.
Hey, you dropped your Dragon Ball Z hat, dude. Pick that up.
That was 5.
Yeah. Well, I'm not done yet, little buddy. Don't worry. Hey, give it up for
I can't tell because you winded. You sweaty as hell.
Give it up for young Buck Teeth over here, all right? This guy looks like he's 7-Eleven's mascot. Hey, Ducharme's got big goals for this year. This year he's going to get a bed for his bed bugs to live in.
You did that for them chuckles?
Yeah.
So stinking.
Let me
You
see
want
that.
this? You can have this,
Yeah,
though.
let me see that one.
Yeah, you look like you live in a cave on the side of Mountain Dew. That's how you get laughs, fat ass boy.
Bitch ass, shut your bitch ass up. Woo! Dog ass.
All right, so we're back. Number 6 battle this week, Ducharme versus Tyler Wolf. We didn't watch it in the studio, but you were there. It comes in number 6. People either loved it or hated it. Thoughts?
Well, that is Ducharme. You either love or hate his style, and his style makes fights. Ducharme and John Luna, they have this thing where either Ducharme's going to bully you, he's going to do a very Joe Frazier thing where he's just bullying you and putting you on the ropes, And Luna's doing this rope-a-dope thing where he's just kind of like leaning back and just kind of you get to fall into his style, right? A la Nate Welch last year with the puns. You're just going to go into this quicksand with him, right, when it comes to that wordplay. Herm, he pulled out all the stops for this one. He really Bugs Bunnied it. He pulled out props. He pulled out poems. He pulled out a children's book. I mean, it was, and honestly, man, shout out Tyler Wolf. I've seen him battle in different regions now. He is trying to be, Johnny Battleseed, go everywhere and just try to fight everybody. And he's really trying to figure out what his character is, right? Yeah. Like when you do clowning, you have to figure out who you are as a clown and just kind of like your essence is. And I feel like Tyler's doing that in this realm of comedy. He's figuring out who he is as a battler because when he goes on stage, I mean, especially against a guy like Herm, he looks like he's about to lynch him.
He does,
you know? Yeah. So like Tyler just has this look about him, almost like Ashley Johnson back in the day. He just has to figure out how to be likable enough to get those jokes off because he does have good joke writing.
Yeah.
So I think with Herm, you're just kind of getting. He's a Tasmanian devil. You're just kind of getting swept up into it. So it's a little different. Even though the joke writing still might not be like super strong, it's still a little silly before it's like you're going to see a strong punchline, kind of like Juan Felix developed.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what you're kind of figuring with Herm. I wish there was more points because I drafted him, but I feel like with Herm, that's what you're falling into a trap.
It's Herm is one of those guys. Chaos doesn't translate well to video. Chaos in the room feels like we just saw something special, but a lot of times when you watch it back on video, it's like you kind of pick up on the flaws more than you do anything else. And Herm and Luna, very, very different styles, right? But I think the one thing that they both do is they have strategies that are maybe more conducive to winning the battle in the room.
Correct.
Getting your hand raised and not necessarily racking up points. Luna, I don't think, was always kind of doing this thing. That's why he was like, that's what made him an all-star last season. That's what got him a title shot. It wasn't the wins as much as it was the points. And then it seems like lately, a lot of people think it's a strategy. If it is, I think it's more designed to like, how can I win the battle in the room? Herm, I don't think it's a strategy. I just think it's his personality.
Yeah.
I think that it doesn't always translate for everybody. As I said, some people had this battle number one. Some people had it unranked entirely. And I think, like, one thing, for instance, that Herm does is, like, when Tyler's first couple jokes, because he started a little bit slow, there's a thought in roast battle that you kind of elevate your opponent by, like, if their shit is funny, you laugh at it. If it's not, you either have, like, a pre-written rebuttal about it bombing to create that big moment, or you just kind of let it slide. Herm's doing this thing where he's just like, that was bad. That was weak.
Yeah.
That was light. You
yeah,
know?
it's usually yes and. His is like, yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead of yes and, it's yeah, no, which I think was, very effective and made it look like he was in control. But when you watch the battle back, it highlights, oh, yeah, Tyler wasn't really hitting at the beginning of the battle. I thought Tyler's best moments were where he was just really loose. And the part where he was like, can you imagine you go to the fucking library and there's a homeless schizophrenic, like, printing out a children's book? Like,
yeah.
That was great. I think Tyler is really loosening up and making strides, and I think we're going to see big things out of him this season. Herm's a tough opponent, though.
Herm is a tough opponent, man. It's tough to beat that style. It's. I remember, man. I'll say it about this podcast last year when you were like, I got something for Nate. I'll see about that pun thing, and you just kind of fall into it.
Yeah.
I remember Tyler saying this in the Bay Area at Zack. He was like, I feel like I got something for him, and then he just kind of falls right into it. And he tried to be likable, but then it's like you just kind of fall into your own habits. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough to battle a guy like that. And I hope Herm keeps evolving so he can keep boosting himself up this this podcast.
It's chess, right? A new player comes into the league and a new pitcher, and nobody can hit him because he throws, a pitch and they don't know what he throws. You're going up there to bat, you have no scouting report. And then the league figures him out, and then it's on him to adjust once the league has figured him out, right? Herm came in, he was iffy, then he tweaked his style. Now everybody else has to figure him out. Now everybody else is playing catch-up.
Lamar Jackson.
With digits, for instance, the league kind of figured out the best thing to do is just let him do his thing. right? Because there's more dead air in a digit's performance. There's more pacing and kneeling and everything like that. And you can wait for a joke to bomb and have that dead air. Herm bombs, he just keeps going. So it's like you almost can't just sit back and let him beat himself because he won't allow it.
He bombs gracefully. There's a thing where when I was writing for Wild 'N Out, and there was some. I remember it was Matt Rife, Becky Robinson, and I forget who else. I think it was like Disa Samiro. But there was a thing of the casting directors always liked. I won't say which one of those people it was, but they were like, I like them because they bomb gracefully, right? And they needed that because that's almost like an alley for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, so you almost kind of need that, not so much straight man, but you kind of need that forest fire to be like over here, like, whoa, but look at this over here. Look how funny this is, kind of a thing. Like, don't look at that over there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah.
the way they bomb is so graceful, you don't even look at that forest fire. It's already out before you can look at it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's something to say about somebody who can just like run over their bombs like that. He's carpet bombing. I mean, he's hard to beat, bro.
Well, let's switch the styles up right now as we go from battle number 6 to battle number 5, and we go from the chaos of Los Angeles to the gentlemanly decorum of Manchester, United Kingdom. They were the number 1 battle last week. They jumped back on the countdown this week at number 5, featuring a familiar face from last season, the guy who was on the countdown more than anybody, Jordan Ducharme, going up against James Allen. It's the number 5 battle this week. Here it is.
Allen, everybody!
Hey now, everybody.
Yeah, how's it going? Jordan Ducharme, everybody. Looking like every cult leader ever. Jordan, hold on a minute. Jordan Ducharme. More like Jordan Poucharme. Oh, God, he's stinky boy. Bad breath Rogan over here. No one's safe tonight.
That's me? All right. This is James Allen, everyone. Come on. All right. It's so nice you could take time off from ringing the bells at Notre Dame to be here tonight. As you might be able to tell, James is a man of few words and even fewer white blood cells. He told me the meanest thing anyone ever said to him was that his spine was shaped like a question mark. It's like his body's asking the same question we all still have. Why haven't you killed yourself yet?
Because I want to be able to watch my own funeral. See who turns up. Jordan's from Canada, more precisely British Columbia. Fun fact about BC: the only sumo wrestlers from Canada were from British Columbia. Were 2 people: Jordan's mum and dad. The broadcast was weird though. It was filmed really weirdly, sort of low resolution, quite amateur style. Both on top of each other in a bed. Although they did wear the nappies though, fair play. Jordan's a good comic in his own right. He's amazing. He roofs gigs. He roofies gigs. Jordan gives the vibe of a porn director who's been fired but still turns up to work anyway. That's not how I'd film it. Turn the camera off. And get rid of all the people. Honestly, someone called Christopher Nolan. Because this is a dark night. Sorry.
The only reason he doesn't like my porn, by the way, is because there's no kids in it. We all know autism runs in some families. In James' family, it's sprinting. He claims to hate his biological father. I don't know if he's talking about the scientist or the test tube. But I imagine James' dad isn't too thrilled about having James either. I mean, he was expecting a son, not a fucking oversized sock puppet come to life. It's good stuff.
Jordan, I mean, let's talk about the afro. Just, I don't know if that comes under for or against cultural appropriation. I mean, you look like you've been genetically modified to be the 6th member of the Jackson 5. And, trust me, no one wants you back. Taking names here.
Okay, all right. No, keep it going for Edgar Allan Puff, everybody. James does look like that kid that was super into magnets when he was young, and now as an adult, he uses those same magnets to destroy hard drives. Seriously, if this guy was in the X-Men, he'd be Fagnito. James has trouble maintaining eye contact with his victims. And he likes his women like he likes his action figures, motionless and wrapped in plastic.
Oh, get him a body bag. Jordan, growing up, had a blind dog called Rocky. Blind dog called Rocky, and he was also a fan of WWE growing up. And the two met at a crossroads, because often when Jordan would fuck his dog, he'd be go, "You can't see me, you can't see me." Just checking, it's after 9, I can tell that one, sorry.
Is that it? Yeah?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, believe it or not, this guy's married, everyone. Which means he's one child and a breakup away from being the divorced dad he's always looked like. He was lucky to get her. The only reason she agreed till death do us part is because she thought he was terminal and would be gone by Christmas. It's nice, though. He's going to live a long life, and when James turns 50, he'll look just like Wallace, which is great, because his wife already looks like Gromit.
Someone actually asked me if it was a mood ring. Permanently depressed! No, here we go. One last crack at a whip for old Indiana Bones over here. Right. What a busy couple of years it's been for old douches here, right? The guy he's got a girlfriend, he's moved house, and most importantly, his head was used as a toilet brush to clean all of the cum on Epstein Island. Stephen Hawking, Prince Andrew, there he met them all. I'm gonna kill myself.
All right, last one here, guys. James is such a weak pussy. He thinks benching is what you call it when you feed the ducks. Seriously, the only time he's been inside a gym was that time Savile deflowered him. James has had to undergo 2 circumcisions, 2 times. Unfortunately, just like his mom's abortion, the first one didn't take. That's us, everybody.
All right, so we're back. That was the number 5 battle this week. Manchester, Jordan Ducharme, James Allen. We did not watch it here in the studio, and you're not going to believe this. It was way more polite than Herm versus Tyler Wolff.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
They took turns and let each other go and laughed at each other's things.
I mean, because Ducharme is like, Herm of, the UK. So I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, Jordan Herm.
Yeah, Jordan Herm.
He's a character, but he's also like, he leans into the jokes about him, and he's very good with that. Manchester, following up that number 1 with a number 5. I believe that's 3 straight weeks on the countdown now. Those guys are determined to not let Tokyo or London beat them this year. They want to win that division.
I can't even listen to duh anymore because now you're saying division and determined and I'm just everything's Herm or Ducharme. What do we say?
They're determined to win the Herman. Yeah, that's damn dude, that's really good.
No, I'm serious. What?
What are your thoughts, real quick, on Manchester this season? Second year in the league.
I think they have their sights on Barcelona. I think they're going to get them this year. Are they in the same division?
No.
Okay, then I don't know anything.
They're with London and Tokyo.
Right.
Last year they were leading the division almost the whole way, and then at the very end, Tokyo leapfrogged them. And I think this year they're out for blood.
Well, I think they're taking it more seriously, and the more serious they take it with Meccan and Ducharme and Monty and guys like that, and Michael Mannion, my fave. I hope they really stick with this and they can really make a run for this thing and be this year's Tokyo.
I completely agree. They're off to a great start. And now let's get into the top 4 cities. Let's actually watch some battles. And a lot of familiar faces in the next couple. These next 2 cities have been our top 2 cities through the first 3 weeks. And the difference between the 3rd and 4th place this week was a tiebreaker. This was literally after all the ballots were counted, these guys were tied in points. We had to go to who was listed ahead of who on more ballots. And that is how we ended up with this next 2 cities. The number 4 city this week is the Bay Area. Bay Area off to a hell of a start this season. This is their last submission from Roast Fest, excuse me. They started the season with the 2-day festival. You were there. They got 4 great submissions out of it. What will happen going forward without Roast Fest? I don't know. But what happened because of it is them getting off to a big lead in the American West Division. This was the first battle of the entire weekend at Roast Fest. This kicked off the festival. This kicked off the season. It's Avery Dauer versus Buddy. Here it is.
Avery's going first, Buddy's going second. Everybody make some noise for your first battle of Roast Fest!
Buddy looks like he was conceived in the back of a Spencer's Gifts. When his father, Louis C.K., jacked off into a Rick and Morty ashtray and he just appeared.
Give it up for this barely walking abortion ad, you guys. It is nice of Josh to finally give me an opponent that I could beat in a foot race, though. Doesn't Avery look like he pays prostitutes to dress him?
Shout out the RBL shirt. Prostitute's got good taste.
You guys might recognize Buddy. He's actually pretty famous. He actually has a societal phenomenon named after him. Yeah, you guys know the buddy system? That thing where women feel like they have to go everywhere in pairs just to make sure they're the buddy.
That's really good.
Got me up here fucking battling a broken cigarette. I don't know if you guys know this, but Avery's hero is Stephen Hawking, but only after the Epstein stuff came out.
Buddy is a bisexual pro wrestling fan, which explains why you look like all 4 faces of Dick Foley combined. Thank you so much, man kind of likes boys. Thank you so much, dude loves cock up his ass. Thank you so much. That's it. You don't deserve the rest.
I didn't get a Cactus Jack. Okay, that's fair.
Cactus Jack off. There we go.
Yeah, you guys, I'm gay because I paint my nails and I have long hair. Avery's disabled because his dad had sex with his cousin.
Hi, Dad.
Avery is both inbred and disabled. We call them Alabama Shakes.
Buddy, your forehead looks like it was pregnant with twins. Believe it or not, guys, Buddy used to play football. Yeah, I had a hard time believing that too, but then I realized he does look like he played football, he just refused to wear a helmet.
Give it up for the demon you see when you try your buddy's DMT cart. Avery looks like the sketch drawn by the child he molested.
That's so good. Buddy's a total nerd. He looks like he'd be into Dungeons and Dragons if that meant dragging his victims down to his dungeon. No, I'm just kidding. The only serial killing going on here is when this fat fuck sees a box of Lucky Charms.
Getting fat phobia comments from the crippled kid, that's fucked up. Avery looks like if one of those wacky inflatable tube darn men asked to be a real boy.
Everybody make some noise for overtime.
First of all, Moses, everybody else, assalamu alaikum, happy Ramadan. Buddy actually celebrates reverse Ramadan, where he eats whatever the fuck he wants all month, all the fucking time. You fat motherfucker!
I don't know why he's yelling at me, and also just so that we're trying to suck up to the black people in the room. I have a black wife, just so everyone knows. Suck it, crippled.
She sat on me, that's why I'm like this.
I like him thick. Avery is Ted Lasso if he was only positive with AIDS.
Everybody, this homeless homosexual is Buddy. Buddy looks like Russell Brand fucked an orangutan.
Avery, I really think you should sue God because he gave you the face of a but the body who couldn't complete the job.
There we go. Little twist on the the usual there. I love a little twist. Good jokes in this one. Before I get to my analysis, what resonated with you more? Happy Ramadan or I have a black wife?
Both classics. Both classics. I haven't heard the I have a black wife. If we have black people in the room, I didn't know that about Buddy, so that's cool.
Yeah,
he's got that Bill Burr in him. It's weird. They do look like this is on one of the lists that you shouldn't do this anymore, but they do look like the extra chromosomes of Adam Lucky from Austin. Like both of them.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, like Buddy, because he's got a black wife, he looks like Uncle Tom Segura. I'm gonna give him that. No, this was fun. I thought Buddy had some devastating jokes about Avery.
Yeah.
Avery's one of my favorite battlers coming up. He's young, but he's obviously not gonna live long because he's got that disease. So he looks that old. But he's a really good battler for time being. Buddy.
For the time being? Jesus Christ.
But Buddy, I thought Buddy had some real sinister jokes in that one. And that was just fun. Obviously, these guys are fans of Roast Battle.
Yeah.
The Bay Area battlers have a lot of. They're like Bizarro New York, right? They just have a lot of really good guys who can be silly, who are good joke writers, who are great personalities also.
Yeah,
they kind of have everything going for them this year. So I take back everything I said about the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You guys are the best.
They figured it out, man. They have, it's just fun. They're very much like, and I don't mean this in any sort of disparaging way, but they're very much like a circus side freak show. Where it's like, come see the battler with no legs.
Yes.
And come see the crazy Jewish man. Like the most Jewish man on earth. And come see the biggest forehead in the land.
Yeah, led by the Notre Dame fighting Irish mascot.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody out there is kind of like fucked up and weird. But they embrace it, and that's what makes Roast Battle great. Like when we talk about the best like battlers, it's always people who can like write jokes but are also big targets. They have more big targets than like anybody else. And even their normal-looking guys, like Drew Schaefer, he's nice enough to have, like, giant horse teeth.
Yeah, that way, that's normal. That's crazy that Drew Schaefer's their normal guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's Logan Farr, it's Avery Dauer, it's Buddy with one name who wants to be known as gay on the outside, but like has a black wife on the inside. I don't understand it.
They personify more than anybody what the standings and everything are all about, because we don't talk about who wins and loses the battles. We don't care.
Right.
It's all about the quality of the battles. What I started tracking this season just as an independent thought project, I was like curious about it. Head to head, what happens when two cities battle each other? Who wins the most often against other cities and who loses? The Bay Area this season against other cities, 0-5 in the actual battles. Number 1 in the league in terms of most points in the standings.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that is carrying the league. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The losses are so funny.
0-5 is crazy. It's hilarious. But, like, you know, the point is to put on the most entertaining battles, and that's what they're doing. So shout out to the Bay Area, man. Buddy, that was the best Buddy battle I've seen. I think it was the best Avery Bauer. Avery had a couple last season that I thought were maybe like a step above. This was next level for Buddy. I think if we had the Buddy from last season, I think Avery would have won that one. But I think Buddy had the best shit that I've seen him have. Avery is always really solid and fun to watch. Really good battle.
Yeah, some of his throwaway jokes were just like, wait, dude, that's like, oh, people like he deserve more. If I didn't hear enough from the crowd, I was like, man, Buddy, like Buddy was he was in his pocket.
Yeah,
he was in his bag, as they say.
Absolutely, he very much, in his bag. Half in the bag, for sure. Number 4 battle this week, the Bay Area. Only number 4 because they lose the tiebreaker to this next city, and this has been the other most consistent city to start the year. It is Chicago. Number 3 battle this year comes to us from Chicago. They have been top 4 each of the first 4 weeks. They are doing what New York did last year, just consistently knocking out points every week. No number 1 battles, doesn't matter. They're always producing quality. And a lot of it, they started off strong last year because of the tournament. Same thing this year. This is another tournament battle. They're about to wrap that up. They have the finals coming up next week. This was, I believe, one of the quarterfinal battles between Manny Petty and Tom Ryan. It's number 3 this week. Manny Petty, great name, and Tom Ryan, decent name. Here it is.
All right, guys, I'll be real. It's really hard to roast Manny without sounding like a middle school bully, all right? But Manny is, in fact, a gay nerd, all right? That's not the joke. That's not the joke. He just happens to love Star Wars as much as he loves kissing boys, all right? But he's not a gay dork. He's not like a virgin. He's had sex with tons of dudes. He's really cool, all right? I'm saying if his ass was the Death Star, you could fit all the X-Wing fighters in that thermal exhaust port.
Patton Oswalt ass joke.
God, I feel like we look like the before and after of a Queer Eye makeover.
So true.
No. Tom would have dressed nicer tonight, but he is a person with a disability. He's straight. Tom, you look like an Amish Homer Simpson.
Real good. Going after a disability, huh? What's your stage name? Low-hanging fruit? Manny is not just gay, he's also Italian, which means he has to be amazing at hand gestures. Hey! I'm not gonna beep me, huh? You're not gonna beep me? Hey, F-word about it, don't worry.
F-word about it.
Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna sweep all this up when I'm done mopping the floor with him.
Okay, Tom.
Keep it going for the beer-stained bear. We got a little something. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. No, you may recognize Tom from the Matrix films. Yeah, he played the part of the glitch.
So good.
Could we get a medic for the front row? Is that...
I think he took one too many of those blue pills.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off Cliff from Cheers if Cheers was in Boys Town. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to...
Topical.
All right.
That joke was a little shaky.
All right. I'll say this though. This is a little personal, a little awkward, but I think Manny gets a little bit turned on every time he sees me because the shape of my head looks like a dick. But I get turned on every time I see Manny because he looks like a pussy.
I mean, every time you do that neck thing, I do want to sit on your face. Looks like it's. It's really
disgusting.
So good. I fucking love you. Oh my God, with all your gay jokes and my Tourette's jokes, I feel like I'm in the Oval Office right now. All right. Tom told me that he grew up in Gurnee, Illinois, and he said that he hated living near the Six Flags, but he did not pronounce the L. It's like, what kind of homophobe only hates 6 of us? Tom. Actually, our couple name, I think, would be Tom Petty, wouldn't it? That's cute. That would be cute. Very cute.
Very our age. All right. Speaking of which, Manny is very new age oriented. He believes in the healing power of crystals. Well, his community would call it partying with Tina. He also found him for you. Don't worry. He also practices Reiki. Do you guys know what Reiki is? Yeah, Reiki, it's like that energy massage. Like you kind of feel someone's aura, but you never like physically make contact with them. So you heard me right, fellas. You have to literally pay for Manny to not touch you.
God, this is the hottest battle I've ever had.
Ditto.
I feel like everything I say just makes you come. It's just like, it's hot. So hot. No, but in all seriousness, Tom has OCD, which stands for obsessive coming disorder. And, God, I just want you to call me a whore and tell me to shut up, Tom.
I'm gonna make that dream come true tonight. Don't you worry, guys.
Oh God. I just came. Sorry, you're in the splash zone over here. Sorry.
Don't fall for it, guys. He's an undercover cop on the Boys Town beat. All right, I've seen this mustache. All right, so I believe this is the last joke. Manny, if you guys don't know his comedy, which would be impossible, he actually ends all of his sets with an acoustic guitar parody. I call him Weird Al Yankodude, but I actually prepared something special for tonight. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you brought your energy. I hope you're gonna help.
Okay, I'm excited. That's great.
All right. Ready here, let me, just a second.
Yeah.
We gotta get it ready here. And, oh, haha, just kidding. Just kidding. Some parodies are dumb, and no one likes them. No more guitars in comedy shows.
Okay, you know, Tom and I, we've both had our obstacles in life, right? Like I grew up gay, he grew up with Tourette's syndrome, but we do have one thing in common. Yeah, no, we do have one thing in common. We both always turn our heads to check to see who's behind us.
Oh,
Oh, Chris is a bottom. Never mind. Chris is a bottom. Sorry about that.
Guys, give it up for them, everybody.
They use the space and the host. A lot of fun. Manny Petty versus Tom Ryan. I am going to tell my kids that was Stone Cold versus Goldberg.
Oh,
that's that. You know, I love that I just got done going on this rant about like the Bay Area's got the characters, man, and then they roll out like, you know, an old timey strongman in like you know, the
1930, 1920.
Yeah, exactly, like picking up those big barbells for some reason. And, you know, a twitchy, spazzy dude on the other side of the stage. Very character, very energy-driven, but I thought the jokes, I always come back to the jokes above all else, the character shit is cool, but like I always come back to the jokes. I thought they had some really, really good stuff in there.
It does really separate that stand-up versus roast battler. It's like, I think in the beginning when we started doing this, it was like, it's like those guys aren't really good stand-ups, but like, they're great, roast battlers. And now I'm kind of seeing, since we've been doing it like 11, going on 12 years, I'm like, man, this is another thing of like, well, if you're good at sketch writing, then you're a sketch person. If you're good at improv, then you're an improv. If you're good at stand-up, you're a stand-up. Like, I bet Manny kills as a stand-up because his personality is insane, I bet. And I bet Tom does the same because his personality is insane. And I'm seeing this more and more as stand-up where, like, I respected it so much because of the joke writing and the personality and just the performance aspect of it. And now I'm just seeing, because of, there's Kill Tony and there's so much stand-up happening online, I'm like, man, it's not as, it's a little more watered down than I thought it was. And just seeing this and just how strong and how the median is the joke writing at the end of the day, like you're saying. And I love it because it does kind of social disability versus physical disability. It does put them on the same level of like, well, we're not going to out-personality each other. It is just going to be these jokes. Yeah. And I really do appreciate that about, because there was some great jokes in that, man. And yeah, I don't know why Manny's dressed as the Saved by the Bell theme, but opening theme, that's crazy. And you guys, you could tell they're friends. They look like your testicles battling for some reason. But yeah, this was fun.
Shout out Manscaped.
Branding content.
We need sponsors. We'll take them. As you've seen, I'm shameless. I will read ads for literally anything. Autoblow, what's up? No, I really like this battle, and I'm going to appear like a hypocrite at points during this season because there are certain battles where I've already been like, I don't like the whimsical shit. I don't like the super personality driven shit. And then there are other ones that are like that and I love, and I'm the more I see it, the more I realize like it's not that there's one style I'm against. I think any style can be done really well. Maybe it's whatever mood I'm in that day. Maybe it's however it hits me. I love the fact that we've expanded the ranking committee this year because I feel like everything is more likely to end up in the right spot. Because some weeks you see a battle, you've been watching battles for an hour and a half, and you're just like, you see two characters, and you're like, all right, fuck this shit. And then other times, it's the first thing you watch, and you're like, oh my God, this is great. So, like, the order which we pick at random is, like, that factors in, too. And I think at the end of the day, everything will kind of come out in the wash and end up where it should with the bigger ranking committee. And, this week, lot of heavy personality. Not a lot of, like, dry shit this week.
I think at the end of the day, you just want authenticity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think even when we used to see Randy Feltface, right, as a puppet, and I remember comedian CP had Reggie Bo used to even like would like roast kind of a thing. And you would just see these things, and like I think as a younger comic, you're like, I just want. But the older you get, you're like, I just want to see authenticity. And the older this gets, I do appreciate some of this because it again, the foundation, the backbone is the joke writing. But those bigger personalities, I guess, are the muscle to the skeleton, which is the joke writing. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm starting to like this more. I mean, ultimately, we're going to see a mime or a clown do this, where they're just nonverbal and they crush it. Or they're just bringing out pictures, or they're just like,
someone's prepping that right now.
I'm saying.
You just put an idea in someone's head who's not capable
There's
of
going to be a clown, and it's going to be lit, and it's going to be awesome. But until then, it's probably going to be shitty the first time we see it.
We had a clown.
Oh, I remember.
Season 1, Josh Means battled
I actually remember
Ennui, the poetry clown.
Yeah. Galit also, yeah.
Oh.
Levy, she also was
We've
a clown.
had multiple clowns?
We've had clowns before, yeah.
Haven't had the mime yet.
We haven't had the mime, but it could happen. I'm saying, and it could be good. I'm just saying, there's a lot of ways to do this.
It could be. You're right.
A lot of ways to skin this cat.
The lesson I'm supposed to be learning is don't turn yourself off to any style. Like these guys, this happened to be a very personality-heavy week. Next week might be all just like deadpan joke stuff. You don't know. But I think that is important to kind of keep the lid going. You don't want everybody who does the exact same style. And I think for a long time, everybody was like, just copying the whoever blueprint, whoever they saw and being like, I'm trying to be like that person. The personalities are really important.
Yeah. I mean, like auto-tunes and everything now, we had to kind of open it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. This is going to be like the mumble rap era where I really fight against it for a while.
It's going to be some mumble rap happening.
Yeah, for sure.
That wasn't mumble rap. That's like a little bit of a throwback. That's definitely I don't know what that is. Actually.
Yeah, no, this was something different entirely. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It comes in at number 3 this week due to the tiebreaker with the Bay Area, and now we get to the top 2 battles, and these battles were separated by 1 point. These battles happen on the same night, but represent different cities. I feel like I'm setting up a riddle right now. Let's not make you guess anymore. Let's jump into it. The number 2 battle comes to us from the mothership. This is a wild card battle. Wild card battles, you might remember a few of them from last season. That's where 2 battlers from different cities meet in a neutral location. And what we do is we split the points, and each city takes away half of the points. So in this case, the battles were 6. We got 3 going to LA and 3 going to London. It's the number 2 battle this week. Angie Stroud versus Helen K from the mothership. Here it is.
London, Los Angeles, let's roll!
Angie is half white, half black, half cracker, half crack whore. Angie has the N-word pass because even N-words pass on her.
Yes, I am mixed, just like your teeth.
Better a mixed bag than a mixed hag.
Helen K, that's the name. Just so we're clear. It's a fake name, it's a stage name, which is about as good of an idea as being a stripper named Harriet T, you know? And just like the real Helen K, she definitely didn't write this herself.
I wish I were Helen Keller, because then I wouldn't have to see or hear you.
Is her translator here? Anyone?
What are you gonna do when the whole country inevitably has to learn Russian?
That'll win him over.
Angie, you look like you leave your phone number on the walls of gender-neutral bathrooms.
Helen, if you're here, who's pretending to be an orphan? Helen is Russian and depressed. She loves taking USSRIs.
Hey.
I don't know why I agreed to battle her. I know she already corrupted the vote.
Keep it going for Elliot Page on minimum wage. Angie has the hair of a cool surfer dude and the body of his board.
Give it up for Mrs. Bean, everybody. Helen is actually Jewish, and she told me she didn't know for a long time. Girl, it was right under your nose. If Helen flips up her nose, you can actually see Anne Frank's hiding spot.
You know what's funny? But Angie's exes used to call her Palestine because she refuses to go down without a fight.
Just like how we're not going down without a fight. USA, come on, pandering. Okay. Have you guys ever heard the term dick sucking lips? If you don't know it, just look at Farrah. But, okay, sit down. Also, there's dick sucking lips, and then Helen has what we like to call friendship mouth.
Friendship mouth is...
Guys love to see her say, yeah, we can just be friends.
Angie, you look like you practice free love because no one is willing to pay for it.
Okay. Helen moved from Russia to London. The British are coming on her back. If I've learned anything from this battle, it's that different countries have different beauty standards. Like, I'm an LA6, and Helen is an English bulldog.
Keep it going, everybody. Angie, Stroud, Helen.
Number 2 battle this week, the wild card. Angie Stroud, Helen K.
Dude.
You know what's so funny, by the way, before we get into this battle? It's very funny to me that last week was like the big female empowerment episode. There were so many women on the podcast. We were talking about how they're taking over this thing. Then one of them gets caught not writing her own jokes. And now this week, these are the only 2 women on the podcast.
Yes.
Also, another layer of irony, that person who got the jokes from somebody, that person stole the jokes from Helen K. And now in this battle, Angie's like, just like the real Helen Keller, she didn't write it herself. No, she's the one writing it herself.
Yeah, that was a damning accusation during the battle. There was a lot going on, and yeah, shout out Helen K for having her jokes stolen. I mean, that is the biggest form of flattery.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah,
badge of honor.
But also, like, hey, we'll say that person that did steal. I mean, there were 9 jokes told in that, and they did take like a quarter of those jokes, and they did they took some other jokes too. It wasn't just Helen. I don't know if they wrote any of those jokes, but her personality came out in that.
Shout out to everybody who has had jokes stolen from them at any point.
Yeah. Shout out, yeah. Man. Anyway, that was crazy. Friendship mouth. I hope that becomes like, like the smiley face that became, have a good day or whatever shit happens. Like friendship mouth should be on T-shirts, should be on bumper stickers. I mean, my God. And also, shout out Helen K. Like, it's almost like Jordan doing the dunk at the free throw line. Everybody's going crazy, like, I've never seen that before. And then Helen's just like, all right, well, I still have to dunk.
Yeah.
She's just like a 2 hands, like windmill, just like, all right. It was solid, by the way, but it's also like, we just had friendship mouth.
That's so tough. I've been on the opposite end of like the Rossi's joke of the year before.
Right. Oh my God.
And it was in the same deal there, the last joke of the battle, and I was going after them, and you're just on stage like, well, fuck. This thing is not nearly as good as the thing they just said, and the crowd's going to know it.
Yeah, when somebody just coins a slogan.
Friendship mouth is crazy. The English Bulldog was crazy. I thought Helen controlled the early parts of the battle. I thought Helen was kind of fucking her up about halfway through, and then Angie just turned on the afterburners.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, just great joke writing. I mean, like, these are 2 of the best. Obviously, people are looking at Angie as, like, not a rookie of the year, but just, like, an ascending star in the league. Helen's already solidified that. Having her jokes now stolen, I mean, like, helps with that, her legend. But that was a hell of a fight. Helen K is a worthy opponent. Had to come over from London to battle here. I remember Joe DeRosa, he was a judge in that, saying that he was just impressed that people from overseas were coming over here just to battle these American battlers.
Yeah.
Like you're out of your time zone. You're kind of out of your language. I mean, this obviously English is Helen's 3rd language, versus like Russian and then gibberish. And she's battling, Zendaya from like Euphoria. Everybody loves Angie, and she just had some great jokes for it. And she was great at laughing about herself when Angie had friendship mouth, and just like the beauty standards she's laughing at it. She's just like, well, she's like, I'm fire overseas. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very impressed. Every time Helen K comes over, I keep using Tasmanian Devil, but she has that about her of just, this is going to be a dogfight, Yeah. So it was fun that she
And not only had, in my opinion, the battle of the night here. I voted for this battle number 1 for the week. Then she went to New York while she was in the States. She did a battle over there that I was told was the battle of the night that night. So we might be seeing that soon.
Oh.
Another level of irony is that Helen in New York, given kind of everything that happened. Boy, a lot of layers to everything that's going on. There's so much we could talk about. As we said, it's been a very personality-heavy episode, and then these guys are just kind of like, here are our jokes, and completely different style. But I really, as the guy who keeps coming back to the jokes, this to me was my favorite battle of the week. But so many good ones and so hard to compare. Apples and oranges in a lot of ways. Like, how do you compare that to like Manny and Tom, which we just saw, which was also incredible?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Just different styles. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. No,
Apples and oranges are both fruits.
Yeah, Russian. Yeah, she's definitely a gay Italian man from Chicago, and Angie's definitely got OCD and is a comic book collector. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that
kind of sums it
different
up.
sides of the same coin. Shout out to those guys, man. Two of the best in the league. I was excited when I made that matchup, and I think it exceeded expectations. It was a great battle. Expecting big things out of both of them this season. And now we will move on to our number one battle. This is the battle that beat it from the same night during the early show. We had to do 2 shows because we sold them both out. You know, that's just how it goes sometimes. The early show was all Austin, and this will be the season debut of Austin. They pick up 7 points for their first RBL appearance of the season. And this is 2 relatively new names. They both battled last year. First mothership battle for both of them. My first time seeing both of them and came away very impressed. This is Anthony Papali versus Jake Ricca. Here it is.
Jake, let's roast!
All right. Anthony is actually a first-generation immigrant. That's pretty cool. When he got here, they changed his name. He used to have a more traditional Indian name. His real name is actually Anthony Tikka Masala Butter Chicken Curry Kebab Patel.
I'll leave it to Jake to have his first joke be a food joke, you know? It's fine.
Fair.
That's fine.
Gotcha.
That's fine.
Gotcha. Does your country miss food? Okay.
God damn it. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I do feel conflicted being up here because in my country, cows are sacred. So it feels weird. Feels weird roasting one.
Leave it to Anthony for talking about the cows. The fuck? Yeah, so Anthony was actually kicked out of the Coast Guard, and he was devastated because they didn't let him keep the little boat or the tiger. We get it. I'm fat, you're Indian. It's a life of pie up here.
It's a great movie. Fucking good movie. Jake looks like his special talent is going. Hey, there's a Taco Bell pretty close to here. We can get there if we run.
I Uber Eats it, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Pretty sure your brother dropped it off to me yesterday. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. It's pretty cool. This is the first Uber Eats guy in a little tuk-tuk cart. It was really weird.
All right.
Is that a real word? I don't know. So, Anthony Papali. It's like Italian Indian. Is it like a 7-Eleven pizza? Are you the reason we have those? Yeah. Before I met him, I didn't know how he was going to sound. I thought he was going to show up and be like, "You'll come to me today on the day of my goat's wedding." Ever since I was a child, I knew I wanted to be a gangster. Indian accent can be better, whatever.
Jake, I'm not your enemy, man. That's gravity. That's your enemy. But
that's fair.
Jake looks like he could tell you what they ate on any episode of The Sopranos.
Yeah. Did you do IT for The Sopranos? Is that what happened with you?
God damn it!
Just in the booth all day. Another take, roll back.
Fair.
It was me? All right, yeah. So I said Anthony was he was kicked out of the military, and the real reason he got kicked out was actually for weed. And on the report, they said they could smell it on him. How good must that weed be?
Oh my
Like, you know? Dude, we were in the green room for 10 minutes together. That whole place smells like a burlap sack full of cow shit. It's fucking rough, dude.
You're not allowed in the green room.
Dude, so funny. So funny. Jake was an altar boy for most of his childhood, which makes sense when you look at him, because he looks like he's been getting stuffed his whole life, you know?
That's fair.
Well,
it's kind of true. Food, not gay, whatever. Who knows? I don't know how to clarify. So, Anthony used to drive a motorcycle, and he currently drives a Miata, which makes sense because they're the only vehicle small enough to fit in the garage attached to his mud hut. All right. Oh, too racist. The accents were fine. Okay. All right.
Thank you, elephant in the room. I appreciate that. That's nice. That's real sweet.
Oh, it was a cow. Whatever.
I hate to bring this up, but Jake's mom is dead. She passed away. He didn't tell me that. I just saw her pressed into the couch when Jake got up from the seat. God damn. This feels so bad. Tragedy.
Keep it going, y'all. Jake Rieger!
Damn, dude. Great battle. That's probably my 4th rewatching of the battle, and I enjoy it every time.
They're
It's,
having so much fun,
yeah,
man. Like,
it's contagious.
I love Anthony. Just like, you know, it's like a ding every time like Jake hit a stereotype joke. Just, you got me again. You got him again. You know, just and Papali has this like Matt Bellick, you know, with in brown face kind of thing going on, which is funny. It's like they all kind of have that style out there. He has some great jokes that were a little backhanded, fat jokes. I thought were great. Jake leaned in heavily to the Indian jokes. Yeah, man, that was worthy of being the number one joke our battle of the week. Especially that Angie and Helen battle was tough to follow, but that was, we all thought, like leaving like, man, that was like the battle of the night. You know what I mean?
It's funny because like watching it, I probably laughed out loud more at this one than I did Angie and Helen. There's something different about like when you're sitting down with a pad and paper and you got to rank these battles and you're watching them on a laptop and you're focusing like really on like the jokes and picking them apart. And then you get here in the studio and you watch them and you're just like, oh, I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
And they're big targets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that helps too. It's like with Angie and Helen, they're not such big targets. It's Helen's from Russia and Angie's, mixed kind of a thing. But this is like, it's a fat dude from America. And Anthony is Indian from wherever that is, So it's like there's just so much to play with, and they didn't disappoint us.
No, and I think when you break it down like analytically, you give more points maybe to like Angie and Helen because you're like, oh, they had to be more creative with the jokes.
Right.
Here, and I'm not the only one who. There were a couple people who, in the process of ranking it, made a note where it was like, well, it was really, really good, but it was all fat jokes and it was all Indian jokes. I would have liked to have seen more variety. And then I'm sitting over here like, yeah, but then I think about it and I'm like, man, I think me versus Keith Carey might be the best battle of all time, and it's all fat jokes.
Right.
There was a lot more information attached to it in the setups and everything. They were specific to the person. But who am I to throw those stones from inside that glass house,
I mean, that's like, there's this Michelin star meal versus this crazy comfort food from my grandmother that you're just going to love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
going to kill you, but it's like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best meal you're ever going to have. But like, this is good. This is like, people rate this as like the best, but everybody loves this.
And they were really creative and funny, like Indian and fat jokes. Even like the 7-Eleven joke was like tying in the fact that he's Italian, the 7-Eleven pizza. So it's like you take something where it's like, oh, another 7-Eleven joke, but there's a twist on it. The fucking smell of how strong was that weed?
Oh, just... Mwah.
Jake's timing is perfect. The way he like rebuttaling off the top of your head is like hard to do. Like I thought their chemistry was outstanding.
Yeah.
Everything
His
that
fat
could be
checks. You know what I mean? Where he's like elephant. I thought I was a cow.
It's
like, oh,
takes a half a second, gets a laugh, keeps it moving. Like everything that could go right about a battle went right in this battle. I think these guys are both monsters, and I want to see more of them.
Had the wherewithal to call the crowd out to it, just like, oh, you don't like this, you like this, though. It's like, I mean, I also love that. Just when a roast battle audience is like, at anything, I'm always just like, that's so funny.
Yeah.
there was something happened here. I think it was the Chicago one where it was Manny said something about the president. Oh, this is the Oval Office, and somebody was like, "What?" I was like, "That's what got him."
I know, right?
That
shout out to Wrightwood. Toby's a liberal.
Yeah, Toby. They'll see that tonight. Sorry, Sunday. Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
it's already would have aired by this time.
You'll have seen it. Those Wrightwood episodes are going to be. We're going to be doing live streams, and then they're going to be dropping
420
as actual episodes. Yeah, next one on April 20th. Next
Or,
live stream? No.
419. Saturday, 419.
April 19th is the next live stream from Wrightwood, so keep an eye out for that. It's on the YouTube channel. It's totally free.
Yeah.
So, heck of a week of battles. A lot of really good stuff. Great to have Austin back in the fold. Great to see Vancouver make their debut.
Yes.
Great to have our first wild card battle of the season. Let's get into the standings, and let's talk about it real quick.
Okay.
In the West, the Bay Area leading the entire league right now, 21.5 points, 4 weeks in. Roast Fest paid off. We'll see where they go from here, but right now they have opened up a lead on LA, which is in second with 17 points. LA holding on to that first only wild card spot at the moment. And then you got Austin with 7, Denver with 3. Everybody in the West has scored. In the East, with New York being docked to 6 points and not scoring this week, they are stuck at 12.
Whoa.
Chicago taking the lead there with 20, and then Atlanta with 7. Cleveland yet to get on the board.
Ooh.
And then internationally, Barcelona leading the West. It's been a slow start for the West. Toronto just ran their first show. They've yet to score. Vancouver with the 1. Scotland only with 1.5 points. 4 weeks into the season, they got that Jack Trainer in Manchester, but no battles in Scotland have been featured yet.
Okay.
Just very interesting. Barcelona on top there with 8.5, and then in the East, Manchester opening it up with 13 points. Big lead on Tokyo with 4, London on the board with 3, and of course Sydney with 2.
How do you guys catch up? I don't know. I mean, Tokyo, they're better playing ahead.
Tokyo needs to stay within striking distance in time for Roast Fest.
You're right.
That's what they did last year. They stayed a couple car lengths back, and then they brought over me and Kim and Keith, and then they surged into the lead. The difference
like a reverse
is
nuclear bomb. I get it.
The difference is Manchester is watching the rearview mirror this time.
Okay.
Manchester last time I think was just like driving like, oh, I can't believe we haven't crashed yet. At this time, they're keeping an eye on Tokyo.
And they still got Edinburgh too, so
yeah.
Edinburgh in August is going to be big for points in September. So
it's going to be big. I've heard some things that they're thinking about doing in Barcelona with other cities. It's going to be an incredible season.
Yes,
I think international always gets off to a little bit of a slow start, and then they about quarter of the way through the season they just start cooking. So, and they just had the Glasgow Comedy Festival. Scotland had a show over there.
Nice.
So maybe we'll be seeing something from
pure
there.
heroin.
Yeah, but so far. Early start to the season, Chicago and the Bay Area are the two big stories for me.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they be? We were talking about them anyway. You even said that thing about we were just talking about the Bay Area and all their characters and all their joke writing, and they have a hodgepodge, and then basically said the same thing about Chicago. So they kind of do mirror each other as they are reflections of the league, right? Yeah. So it's fitting that they are first right now at the first end of the first month of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Great week. We got to get out of here. Shout out to the fans, to the Patreon. We had a great Patreon Zoom battles. Those are back. Another Patreon member went and battled in the RBL, Mitch D.
Oh, yeah.
Our
just
Canadian
got a DM from
friend.
Mitch D. Shout out Mitch D.
Canadian friend. He drove down to Cleveland and apparently destroyed. That was the word I got. I can't wait to see it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, good for Mitch. It's been a great season for people who came up in the Patreon, never did stand-up before, started doing these Zoom battles, and now they're getting out there and doing it.
Commissions Academy.
Yeah.
You guys are crushing.
Hell yeah, join it. Patreon.com/RBL Battle starts at $5 a month. Check out roastbattleleague.com for upcoming dates and merch and everything like that.
Tell them the dates. We're
this Sunday we'll be in New York at the Comedy Cellar, the Village Underground. Insane card. Make sure you come out and see that. April 16th we'll be in St. Louis at Helium.
Yeah, with the Gateway Roast League.
That's right.
Yeah, that's St. Louis Roast League. We're checking those guys out to see if we can bring them part. Part of the league, maybe.
Not an official RBL event, just going and checking out what's going on in other parts of the country with their roasting scene. May 1st we'll be in Seattle at the Hereafter.
Oh yeah. May 15th we'll be in Kansas City.
May 15th in Kansas City, and of course May 8th in the main room at the Comedy Store. If you're in LA, definitely come. We got to sell that one out. A lot of tickets to sell, and the card is incredible. Some of the best battlers from Scotland are coming over. Best battlers from New York, Chicago, the Bay Area, Austin. We're bringing everybody over. It's going to be an insane show. So if you're in LA, make sure you check that one out. Punchup.live for all of our dates, or you can find them on roastbattleleague.com. Thanks as always for watching the show. Appreciate you guys. Anything else?
A lot coming up, man. We're shooting comedy specials with some of our favorite battlers. Shout out Pat Barker. Buy the merch, buy everything, man. We're coming to see you guys. We're excited. The league's growing. Let's roast.